Wardens at the Bordelais Correctional Facility are on high alert given the recent outbreak of violence at the prison. The Director of Corrections, Hilary Herman, fielded questions from reporters Friday following Thursday morning's stabbing death of Kevin Wilson, alias Carlos or Goat, a prisoner deemed mentally unfit to stand trial for murder. Herman said police investigators are gathering evidence, though he adds information is hard to come by.
I think major crime is expected to be on compound today to continue the investigation of that incident. What we know is based on the press release that has already been sent out, the inmate was found laying in a pool of blood. The paramedics identified that he was stabbed. So we are working the details. Of course, in those instances, no one sees anything, no one hears anything, so this is the norm. So we have to allow major crime to do their thing, and we will do our own internal affairs investigation and come up with a rational conclusion.
Thursday's murder at the prison followed Wednesday's multiple stabbing of a 21-year-old inmate who's listed as critical at hospital. The Director of Corrections says the Bordelais facility is a reflection of the community, with the gangs on the outside all represented at the prison.
Every gang we have in Saint Lucia is represented here at the facility. We have limited space to keep them apart, so we do the best that we can. As you know, most of our inmates are not choir boys, so we have to it's very challenging for us to keep them apart that have issues from the outside, and they bring those issues inside. And there are also issues that are generated from inside, which we have to deal with. So the gang problem is a real problem that we have to deal on a daily basis.
Violence is one of the many problems afflicting the prison, but by no means the only challenge. Given the overcrowding at the prison, measures have been put in place to avert another outbreak of COVID-19 behind bars.
We've restricted the prison to all outside visits. We're only doing e-visits. We're restricting movement as much as possible. But chances are there will be a case. So we'd be very naive to think we wouldn't. So we're putting everything in place to make sure that if we do get some cases that we're able to handle it like we did in the past.
Prison officials are being frustrated in the effort to keep Bordelais COVID-19 free. Inmates have been offered vaccinations but are demonstrating little interest in getting inoculated.
Just like we do in most communities, there are the anti-vaxxers out there. They're in here too. Unfortunately, we're only about 13% vaccinated for inmates. So we're not doing well on that front. But we're lucky to say that in spite of that, we've not had a second or third or fourth wave yet. But we are a reflection of our community. So I think we would be naive to think that it will not come back, because it's in every community.
This is a rare glimpse of life behind bars at Bordelais. This 20-year-old prison, which is in need of repair, is where close to 500 mainly young men call home, most of whom have been incarcerated for violent crimes. Saint Lucia for the HTS News Force.